is to get in touch with yourself, with the things that excite you, that frighten you, that keep you awake at night. Hello, my name is Rotimi Agbabiaka, and I am a lecturer in acting and solo performance at TAPS. So at college age, I went to the University of Texas at Austin. I was supposed to go to law school afterwards, and so I majored in English and economics and in Plan 2, which was a general liberal arts honors degree. I thought I was covering my bases and making the right decisions, but throughout college I kept doing theater, primarily with a student theater group called the Broccoli Project, where I did some crazy student-written plays and some musicals and some classics. And then I also did theater through a great program called the Shakespeare at Winedale program, where I would spend 9 weeks in the summer, for 2 summers, doing 3 Shakespeare plays in rep in a converted 19th century barn in the Texas Hill Country. I lived there with my classmates, and we made our own costumes. And at the end of the summer, we would go to the UK and we got to perform in London. And so as a result of those experiences, spoiler alert, I did not go to law school. I made a career in theater. So after college, I realized I hadn't taken an acting class ever. I'd just done acting as a hobby, and I thought if I wanted to be a professional, I should do that. And so I went to grad school for acting, and I got an MFA in acting from Northern Illinois University, where I learned so much and really got to see how craft and skill are just so important in the development of an actor. Then I moved to San Francisco because I fell in love with San Francisco, and my first job out of school was with the San Francisco Mime Troupe. It's not Silent Mime, it's a political theater company that does a lot of singing, a lot of speaking, and I got to tour with them on their summer show around Northern California. And in the process, I really got to see how theater can speak so directly to a community, can speak about political issues in a way that's entertaining, comedic, and inspiring to action. Moving on from there, I've gotten to work in a variety of venues, in big regional theater houses, in off-Broadway, in smaller black box theaters. I've done new work, lots of new work. Outdoor theater, I've done the classics outdoors, done devised pieces outdoors, and I've also gotten to create a lot of work for myself and for others, writing original solo plays and then full-length plays. And I just keep pursuing variety. I think that's one of the things I love the most about what I do, what we do as actors, is that we can be, in 16th century Denmark one day, and in 18th century Paris the next, and present day Jamaica, 2 months after, without ever leaving, necessarily leaving our hometown. One of the things I love the most about acting is the idea of point of view. The idea that every human being, every character, every playwright, every play, every style, everything really in this world has a point of view, has a vantage point. And that as a student and a practitioner of acting, in many ways your job is to continue to refine your point of view and understand your point of view, and then find a place where your point of view and the point of view of a character, the point of view of a play meet. What I love about that is the amount of self-knowledge, self-observation that's required to really embody another human being or understand another human being, the way that it encourages us to walk in someone else's shoes by understanding our own shoes, and ultimately the way that it gives us, especially those of us who are from backgrounds that perhaps are not as represented or are not as visible, or voices that have not been heard before, it gives us more and more confidence and more of an appreciation for the power and the beauty of our own unique voices and what they have to say as artists. And in my work as a teacher of acting, my goal is really to empower my students. I think as actors, we often get the sense that we're always at the mercy of someone else, of the director or the producer. We have to ask for permission to do our art form in the way that a painter or a musician doesn't necessarily have to. And so my main philosophies are on empowering my students to realize that as actors, they are generative artists, that they are creators who don't necessarily need to wait on anyone else's permission to do what they want to do, to speak, to use their voice, to express their point of view. And that by tapping into their voices and learning as much as they can about other voices and other points of views, that they really can enrich their lives and their practice.